Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pop Culture Project. I'm Steve, and today I'm going to talk about 2021. What a year that was, huh? Okay, just so everyone knows, we are rerunning the Dark Knight Returns contest. The guy who had won never got back to me, still hasn't even emailed me or anything. So if you go to our YouTube channel and you're subscribed, go to the Court of Owls review from the Lapsed Comic Fan, part 1. And if you comment what your favorite Batman, either moment or storyline, movie, it could be animated, cartoon, anything. Run on a comic. If you comment that, you'll be automatically entered to win the Dark Knight Returns box set. It comes with a mask and the comic with that, and you will also win the 100 greatest moments in Batman history. It's a really good one, guys. So 2021, man, it was a rough year for me personally. Personally, my health went to shit in August. It started around in July. It was in June, and then in July, I had a heart attack, a very mild one, but still, it was a heart attack, and it sucked tremendously. But I'm over that now. I'm working on getting better. I just have a bunch of mental stuff to get over from it. A little bit of PTSD, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure what it is. Just sometimes I freak out when my heart rate goes up a little bit, and that's kind of scary since I play a lot of basketball all the time. So... But anyway, we don't want to talk about that type of shit. First, what we're going to do is I went to the store today. Before we get into any topics, I went to the store with my son, and I got him a couple of toys, and I picked up a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to open them now. But there was something funny, man. I was going there, and they have these really cool Spider-Man things from like No Way Home and all the other movies. But they also have these new... Fantastic Four figures, and they're pretty cool. They're really old school. It's like the Reed Richards one I got here. They're really cool, and I like them a lot, and they're interchangeable. So I'm there, and everything was like wiped off the shelf. There was like nothing there. But I noticed at the end of the shelf, like I was like, wow, there's a ton of stuff down there. What's that? And I get down there, and it was literally every Eternals figure ever. None of them were bought. So look, they have like nothing of Spider-Man and like DC, but they sure have all the Eternals. This looks suspicious. So I started rooting around, and behind the Eternals figures, this is how much people don't want that stuff. People were hiding the good figures behind the Eternals figures. So I did get an Age of an Apocalypse one that I needed, and I was very happy. I got the Magneto right here, so let's see what I got. So I got the Age of Apocalypse Cyclops. This guy was hiding behind Druig and fucking who cares. So this is cool, man. I only need 2 more. I need Iceman and Rogue, and I will have the other parts to build Colossus. I got his leg right here. I love these things, man. They make you want to collect. They're very smart. They give you a character and a bunch of different pieces to make another character that you can't buy in a box. So good on you, Marvel Legends. But these are great, man. These are really cool looking. And that's Cyclops. So I got that. I got a Spider-Man with mystery web gear. This is just a regular Hasbro. I really like... I like the detail on his face on this. It's really cool. It was actually damaged, so I actually got this one for $2. Can't beat that. Now, what's cool about this one, as you've seen before, I'm really into the DC 6-inch figures, and I have the regular Robin with the hood, which is really cool, and I have all of them on here. And I did not know that the Bat Tech Batman I have there is super rare. And it's actually one of the rarest ones that you can get from this set. So I have all of these now, except one. I need Batwing. And they have a super rare Robin. I do have. It's in the box upstairs. I'll show that one day. But yeah, I love these ones because it comes with 3 little weapons and stuff like that, extenders, all sorts of stuff that you can use with them. So that's pretty cool. I like it. And last but not least, I got the 12-inch Bat-Tech Batman. I know. Here's the thing. None of these are like expensive. Some of like they're not expensive. I just like them for display. The reason why there's so many here now is they're like I've said before, I'm going to be doing a show with these characters, but I used to display these at work. I have this really big cubicle at work, and I have all these different shelves and stuff, and I would just display all the characters. So when I was in there, it felt, like it was mine, and that's kind of what I did. And I like the big ones. They're generic and stupid, but they look cool to me, and they're cool to display. I have some really expensive stuff upstairs in my room. I have like some hot toys and stuff like that. And I have a couple of Deadpool ones that are really cool. They're the ones that are on the stands, and it's like in an action pose and shit like that. But I don't use those down here. I only use my 6 to 12 to 10 inch characters and Big Thanos with Spider-Man riding him. So anyway, man, we're going to get into 2021. I have a whole bunch of topics here. First off, 2021 was the start of the Lapsed Comic Fan and the Pop Culture Project. I've been asked a couple of times, what does the Pop Culture Project mean? And I wish I would have explained this at first. It kind of ties into the Lapsed Comic Fan. The Lapsed Comic Fan is pretty self-explanatory. I used to be a comic fan, and then I stopped reading for a very long time, almost 20 years. Damn! And it was my journey getting back into comics and continuity and learning about stuff. I thought there would be more people to comment and direct me and stuff like that, because I thought it was a good idea for a channel. Maybe I'm not marketed the right way or getting out there the right way, but that's what the Lapsed Comic Fan about. Me and my buddy John we would talk at work, and he would always bring stuff up like, hey, did you see this? Or did you see? And I'd always look at him like, what? And he was like, dude, have you like lived in a cave for like the past 15 years? And I'm like, pretty much. Yeah. And that was what the Pop Culture Project was going to be. We were going to start watching like pop culture-y type things or things that were popular and have my opinion on them, because my opinions are very weird outside the comic realm. And it's different when you talk comics to comic book people because they know what you're talking about. But it's different to hear my opinion on politics. I have an interesting view, I'm told, on a lot of issues. So we started the channel, and I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with everybody who has subscribed. I appreciate all of you. The only thing that I would like to do more of in 2022 is have you guys comment a little more and us have more of an engaged conversation and interact with each other more. All the MCU shows, that's my next topic, is 2021 had a lot of stuff for the MCU. 4 movies and 5 shows that premiered on Disney Plus, and I'm going to rank the shows. So the shows that came out were Wanda Vision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, What If, Loki, Hawkeye. Those were the shows. I didn't put them in any order, but here is how I liked the shows. I will start from the worst and go to the best. Now, I'm not saying any of these shows are terrible, okay? I will let you know as I go through them. So my least favorite show was What If. I liked the animation style. I thought the last couple of episodes that tied into each other were really cool. I really liked the Doctor Strange episode. I thought they nerfed out on the Marvel zombies. I wish they would have done a little bit more, but I understood why they did what they did because they were telling a greater story. I would like to see the Marvel zombies because someone had told me about that, and I looked into it just a little bit, and I thought it was pretty cool. I read some Deceased, which maybe I haven't read all the Marvel zombies that I need to. I thought Deceased from DC was really cool because it reminded me of Blackest Night, which is one of my favorite stories. That whole Jeff Johns Green Lantern run is one of my favorite things that I've read since I've come back into comics. I love it. So yeah, What If was my least favorite out of the Marvel shows. My next one was Wanda Vision. Okay, so when this one first started, like the first episode, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool concept, and the scene with Deborah Jo Rupp, the one that played Kitty Foreman in That 70s Show, whenever her husband was choking and she's like, stop it. You know, that whole thing fucking freaked me out, man. I was just like, what in the hell is going on?
Stop it. Stop it.
But I didn't think that it told the right message. It showed a bad way to deal with your grief, and it made a hero out of somebody who, honestly, she wasn't that heroic. And it had one of the all-time worst lines in any show ever. After she ravaged this town and kept their kids away from them, locked up in a house, in their houses there they couldn't see them, Monica Rambeau looks at Wanda and says, "They'll never know what you sacrificed for them."
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Shut up, bitch! Well, if you would have never came to the town, nothing. You sacrificed nothing with your fake kids that are now real. What? The next show on that list was the most recent show, Hawkeye. While I didn't really care for it right off the bat, I thought it had unnecessary episodes where the first 3 episodes could have been combined into one, the story from the first 3, and then that last, the first 20 minutes from the 3rd episode could have literally been the last 20 minutes of an action scene. They could have advanced the story quite a bit. We don't need to see the whole, I need to be your partner. No, you're not my partner. We know they're going to end up working together. Let's just get to some badassery. I know you think that you have to tell a story that is so deep and so, gripping and stuff like that, but people want to see story, but they also want to see action. And when you used a character that was so underutilized in the MCU, you had a perfect opportunity to tell a great story and get back more into the Ronin character, which seemed so important, and it kind of just pitter-pattered out. And then you brought back Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, and man, that was a fart in church. Some people loved it, other people didn't. I'm more of the I'll wait and see, because it's the comic rule, man. No body, no dead. So he's not dead. And since then, I had been told that there was a storyline with Echo where she shoots Wilson Fisk in the eyes and he goes blind. And I'm sure that's what's happening in this. So Hawkeye, to me, it was okay. I think it was, I can't remember if it was like episode 4 or 5. We reviewed it, me and John, every week. One of them I liked a lot. I thought it was really cool. It was the episode where they were hanging out together and he was showing her stuff and showed her the flick and stuff. I thought that should have been the episode that they did the story and the bonding with after a lot of the action, because that felt more like a comic book to me than any of the other episodes. All right, so my number 2 show was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, this, I liked it because I liked U.S. Soldier. I thought they did a very good job of making you hate him, and it really put lines in the sand of, there was people online that was like, he was great. I agree with him. And they had that brutal shield scene. But for me, I am not of the opinion. It really irritates me when I see guys go on there and it's like, well, Sam Wilson, he's not Captain America. And it's like, really? Are we that shallow? Yes, Steve Rogers in the comics, and Sam Wilson has been Captain America. So is Bucky. So is a bunch of people. But the thing is, guys, yes, when you think Captain America, you think Steve Rogers. But this is literally a movie franchise that's moving on and on and on. If Chris Evans doesn't want to play him, what are you going to CGI him and get like Princess Leia crap from Rogue One?
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? It is no problem for them to pass the mantle on to someone else who still wants to play their character, who still wants to do it. I have no problem with this whatsoever. And for you people that's saying that he's not Captain America, what do they call him in the comics? The people that don't know that Sam Wilson is Sam Wilson. Did they call him Falcon America? It's just like the Miles Morales thing. I listened to so much bullshit about how Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man. And I'm just like, so in Miles Morales comics, what do people call him that they don't know he's Miles Morales? Do they call him, hey, guy? They call him Spider-Man. I know he's not who you think of whenever you say Spider-Man. That doesn't mean he's not a Spider-Man. Oh, he's not the Spider-Man. Okay. Cool, you have big balls.
Marvelous! You have no marvelous!
Like, what are we, like, what? I get it. I like Peter Parker. I love Peter Parker. Peter Parker is my Spider-Man. Every Spider-Man comic that I've ever read was Peter Parker. I've only read a couple that had Miles Morales in it. Secret Wars 2015, that Miles Morales part with the hamburger, that's like the most I've ever read of Miles Morales. But that doesn't mean that there's not enough room for another Spider-Man and you can't call him Spider-Man. Is he the most famous Spider-Man? No. But that doesn't mean he's not a Spider-Man. That shit irritates me for some reason. All right. And the number one show was Loki. And the only reason why I put this number one was for what it led to in the multiverse. I do not like what they did with the character of Loki. I think they nerfed him. I think they cut his balls off. I don't think that the character arc was good. I thought he went from being so feared that the Avengers, it took the whole Avengers team to take him down, and all these guards were taking him to his cell, to getting kicked in the nuts and being called just a little pussycat, and literally over and over and over again being told that he sucks and how great Sylvie was. And that doesn't mean I don't like Sylvie. I obviously bought her figure. I like Sylvie. It's just not, I don't like Sylvie at the expense of hating Loki. I don't understand why they do this. You do not have to make a character and say, this is the better one while this one sucks. That doesn't make her good. If you just let her stand on her own, people will either like or hate her. But that's where the agenda play comes in, guys. Whenever people say that Marvel has an agenda, I know sometimes people don't like hearing that and they get upset. And trust me, guys, sometimes I don't like it either. But if you really look at it, you look at that show, they really told you the whole time, this is the great one. This is the good Loki. Have you ever met a female one of us? Oh, she's terrifying. She's brilliant. Ooh, I have a boner right now. But they did that at the expense of our Loki. They had to put him down. And they changed how he was. He literally went from like stabbing Coulson in the back to flinching at animatronic robot heads. Watch that scene again when the timekeeper's head rolls across. Like, this is what we're dealing with, guys. It was not good. I do not think they did the He Who Remains scene well. For us comic book people, yes, we got it. We were like, oh, this is cool. It's Kang. But it was a very long scene that just it went over and over. I know that the actor is a good actor, but he was very over the top, and I'm sure that's what he was told to do. I don't look at things and say, wow, they acted terribly, because the director can go, cut, that was shitty, we're doing it again. That is what they wanted. That is what they were told to do. I liked how it opened up the multiverse. I really am interested to see these Kangs who are terrifying. As Loki said, oh, he's terrifying. No, that guy that you talked to really was not terrifying. He sat there and ate an apple.
And that's the gambit.
And talked about what he did and how he actually saved you from being destroyed from crazier versions of himself that want to take over everything. Like, I don't, like, it just, a lot of Loki didn't make sense, but I really liked how it opened up the multiverse, and for us to be able to see, like Later on, I'll talk about Spider-Man, No Way Home. That opened it up to be able to see the other Spider-Man with him.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
So that was what I liked about that. And like I said, I thought they did the He Who Remains all wrong. Like, for people that didn't know that was Kang, that are just casual Marvel fans or just MCU fans and don't know anything about the comics, he was just some dude. They built it up like this huge thing. They had to literally get past a giant smoke monster. It was like Lost. And they had to get past this giant smoke thing. And then Eliath, who was in the comics. And then they get to, Castle Grayskull. And they get in there. It's just some dude eating an apple if you don't know who he is. And it was like, all right, that's what we waited this whole time for? Okay, cool. All right, so the next category, we had not the best showing for the MCU movies at the beginning, but a very, very, very high end. So we had Black Widow. Man, did they do her wrong. I was not impressed with Black Widow, the movie. I thought the action scenes were fun. I thought they were. When I saw the marketing and I saw the commercials and I saw Taskmaster, I was like, oh, cool, Taskmaster. This will be sweet. And I didn't have a problem with it being a woman. What I had a problem with is it sucked. They made it out to be like it was this big part of the story, and it really wasn't. She had to fight an old man breaking her face because pheromones. That's how much we're suspending our disbelief. Pheromones, people. I mean, it was stupid, guys. It was terrible. And just a lot of it didn't make sense. How the Red Guardian is talking about how he fought Captain America in the 80s, and you're just like, dude, that's impossible. He wasn't unfrozen until... Anywho... So, I didn't care for that movie. I thought they should have done Scarlett Johansson a lot better. I guarantee you, if that movie would have come out 5 years early or like right after Civil War, it would have been done better, and it would have done her a lot better justice. I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she embodies the Black Widow character, and I thought it sucked. I thought they did her wrong. And look, these are just my opinions. When I say these aren't fact. These are just my opinions. So if you get upset at what I say,
I just want to tell you all, go yourself.
but these are just my opinions. They're not factual data. The next was Shang-Chi. I mean, I've said it before, this was literally every Kung Fu movie trope. If you've never seen a Kung Fu movie, I'm sure you liked this. But this was literally crouching Marvel hidden story. The action scenes were out of this world. It was shot beautifully. I thought that the way that it was shot was amazing. But I've seen the stuff where people fight and they have their emotions and they're telling a love story through the fight. I've seen all that shit. I've seen Kung Fu movies. I'm a huge Kung Fu movie fan. I didn't need to see Disney's nerfed version of it, and things that just didn't make sense in that movie, like Katie. Oh my God, Katie. Oh, she was so terrible. The whole thing where it's like he told her like that he didn't kill the person who was responsible for his mother's death. But then he's like, no, you don't know me, really. I did kill her, or I did kill the person. It's like, dude, she just saw you kill a bunch of people on that scaffolding, throwing them off the side. Like, do you think this is the thing that's going to make her hate you? Like, none of this story makes any sense, and there was no Legend of the Ten Rings. Either on the legend of the group of the Ten Rings or the Ten Rings themselves. I know that they're going to tell more. The post-credit scene should not be, like... That doesn't exemplify the rest of the movie that you just watched, okay? I understand that they're going to tell us. They should have called it something else. Like, The Legend of Shang-Chi. And then the next one could have been The Legend of the Ten Rings. Have it be the Legend series. Like, to me, it just didn't make sense. And here's the worst part. I wanted so bad to love this movie because Shang-Chi is one of my favorite characters. I know it's random, right? It's random, but I told you I love kung fu movies. So I had a lot of Master of Kung Fu comics back in the day. Next one was Eternals. I feel like I've harped on this movie way too much. You know my thoughts if you've watched this channel.
So good.
It sucks so bad because you know what? One of the bright spots of 2021 was the Eternals comic with Esad Ribic art. It is phenomenal, guys. If you have not read this, go get it. I never liked Eternals comics. That's why I was not enthused about seeing the movie. Me and John decided, hey, we're going to go see these movies and we'll talk about them as soon as we're out of the theater. I've said it before I went to see the movie. I'm not enthused about this movie. I'm probably not going to like it, but hey, if it's good, I'll be pleasantly surprised because I am a person that if I say something and I am proven wrong, I have absolutely no problem saying I was wrong. I don't have to justify my feelings because we're talking about movies and comics and stuff. Yes, they are very important to me, but they're not important enough for me to make a stand to where my mind can't be changed. You don't want to die on your beliefs. You want to have ideas and stuff like that because ideas can be amended and can be changed, and you can be open to conversation and new ideas and new ways of looking at things. If someone could show me a different way of looking at it, then I might change my mind, but not with Eternals, the movie. Sorry, not even the identity politics and the statements they were making. It was just a boring ass movie.
So good.
Now, the emergence was fantastic. I thought they did the Celestials very well, but I really thought that they made them very dumb. Like, they made the Eternals, right? They made them. So basically, they're like robots, pretty much. Why did one of the robots have amnesia? This is really bad programming, guys. Really bad. That doesn't make sense. And we end on the high point for the Marvel movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. So I said some things about this movie that some people might not have liked. Everybody's calling this the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. And I'm saying, oh, pump the brakes.
Oh, back it up. Back it up.
Beep, beep, beep. I think it's one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time. But the only reason why I might think that is because I have the knowledge of the other 5 Spider-Man movies. And I meant not including the Way Home series. I'm talking about Tobey Maguire 1 through 3 and Andrew Garfield 1 and 2. So Amazing Spider-Man and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Those 5 movies. If you do not have the knowledge of those 5 movies, does this movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, make a good standalone movie, which is the test of any movie? Does you want to sit down and say, hey, kid, say you have kids later on, let's sit down, I want to show you the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Are you going to sit there and show them a movie that they need literally 5 movies before that it was made and 2 other movies, 7 movies worth of knowledge to understand what is going on? That does not take away from the fact that it is freaking awesome. It is awesome. Go see it. I had so much fun, and it crushed any of those thoughts about how the reasons why these other movies didn't do well was because of the curruntus. No, it was because you made stuff that a lot of people didn't want to see. Okay, Spider-Man has made more money than all the rest of the movies this year combined from Marvel and Disney. And it's a Sony movie, so they get 75% of the cut. Marvel gets 25%. So, I mean, this movie did so well. People were literally like, I can't wait to see Andrew Garfield in another spot. I want to see it. And I'm like, so you liked the Amazing Spider-Man movies? No, they were dog shit. And you're like, what? Wait. So why would that? He's good in this. He's not, like, they didn't make the... One of the things that I've been really a big fan of is Rick and Morty, and we got season 5 this year, and we got finally Rick's backstory. And man, that episode was crazy. We got a lot of the answers for evil Morty and what his motivations were. And that's something that I think everybody should go watch. I know that I have the Blu-ray, and I know that Dan Harmon did not want to make this episode. He never wanted to tell the story because he thought once that you tell this, you're kind of pigeonholed into a canon that if you go against, fans are going to revolt. He would rather do Monster of the Week episodes than canon episodes. But I thought they did it brilliantly. For anybody that says that they're losing their mojo, you are incorrect. That is your opinion. But I know there was a little bit of wokeism in it and a couple of moments. But if you really actually look into them, they were making fun of it. So, all right then. So we're going to get to the really sad part, people that we lost. So 2021 ended pretty sadly. We lost a lot of good people. I have a list here. And one of the biggest ones was on New Year's Eve. We lost Betty White at 99 years old. They had this huge thing planned for her 100th birthday, and she didn't live to make it, and that's really sad. And another one that was weird, I heard a couple of weeks ago, it was like a month ago, that they had this thing planned for John Madden. It was called the All Madden documentary, and then he dies. So the thing is, stop planning special things for old people on TV. Let them live, okay? John Madden and Betty White. Damn it. We also lost Hank Aaron at 87. I mean, the home run king. You know what I mean? Like, I always heard the Hank Aaron record, and he had 21 major league seasons. 21! I mean, that's incredible. Ed Asner died at 91 years old, and for me, one of the great things, Ed Asner, he voiced Granny Goodness in a couple of DC animated movies. How perfect is that? Dustin Diamond Screech, old 12-inch dick himself. He apparently he had died. He had carcinoma, and that was what his publicist said. I know there was all these rumors about him dying in jail or, I don't know, being murdered, all sorts of stuff. But the official story is that he died from carcinoma. And that's sad, man. I remember watching Saved by the Bell whenever I was younger, and, Screech, what a nerd. He accentuated the nerd in pop culture. He was no AC Slater, that's for sure. DMX, man. DMX died. I watched his story on HBO Max. It was gripping. It was awesome. His concerts were something else, man. I watched his performance from Woodstock. It was crazy, dude. Like, I've seen like footage of rap shows, and I saw Wu-Tang Clan. I love Wu-Tang, but I saw them before, and they were not good live. They were really drunk and half falling all over stage and just whatever. DMX was all coked up and just got you into his music. And his intro for, was it Hell is Hot? Whatever that is. That song, man, that Mike Tyson used to walk to the ring to in 1997, that shit is, dude, makes even these little elbow macaroni arms want to swing. Richard Donner, Dick Donner, man, guy who made the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, probably the most epic superhero movies of all time back in the 70s. Like, think they made good movies back then. I mean, you watch them now and they're campy as shit. And I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, they could hold a nostalgic place in your heart, but they're campy as fuck, dude. They are. But they're still good movies because he made you believe that a man could fly back in the 70s. Robert Downey Sr. died. I don't know much about him. Apparently, he was a pioneer in the experimental filmmaking scene in New York during the 60s. And I'll end with this. Larry Flint. Larry Flint. He passed away at age 78. Think of all the dicks that are sad right now because of Larry Flint's passing. Hustler. Playboy's dirty ass cousin. So 2022, guys, what do you want it to be? Because we have an opportunity right now, and everybody has said this before. We are very in unprecedented times right now. I mean, the world is changing.
The world's changing.
We're literally giving a fuck about babysitting money. We're running the world off of what young people think. It's a scary time, dude. They have actually talked about making it legal to vote at 16 years old. What? What? What the fuck? I know it's never going to happen, but, take care of each other out there, guys. And I'm going to end on what the channel's going to do in 2022. So after football season, after the Super Bowl, me and John are going to start doing Power Ranger Sundays. So how we're going to do it is we are going to watch the episodes, but we're also going to read the Boom Studios comic because I think they're fantastic. I already started, but I will reread them. Each week we will review a comic and we will talk about a season. How it will work is the first 3 seasons of Power Rangers you can kind of talk about in one show because there's certain episodes that go together like the Green Rangers, but the whole season doesn't have an overall story. They don't really start doing that kind of till Zeo. So once we get to Zeo, then we will start taking it by blocks of episodes. But we are going to review 1 comic book per week on Power Rangers Sunday. And I think Tuesday will be Marvel Tuesdays. I will start doing Marvel books. The first one I'm going to do is Moon Knight. We had a guy in the New Year's Eve live stream, Rayron, that he's starting to get into comic books, and he picked up Moon Knight. So I said, hey, man, I'll do the same, and I'll review it, and we'll start talking about that. And then Thursdays will be DC, and this Thursday will be the Court of Owls Part 2. So there won't be any videos until probably Thursday. I'm probably going to do more live streams. But once football season is over, that's when the schedule will be like that. And I will start throwing bat bits in when I can. I know I keep changing the schedule, but I'm trying to do the best that I can. I do all the filming, all the editing. I do everything. So and still try to have family time, and I work. So just hang with me, guys. If you can help me out by helping out with topics or what you guys would like to hear, I have no problem. Trust me, if you give me a comic book and I look it up and it's even halfway decent, I will buy it. Okay? Let's get some conversation going. Let's have some fun. Let's make this channel as successful as it can be. And let's start setting goals for each other. Let's try to get it up to 500 subscribers. I know that's really big since we're not even at 150. Let's try by the end of the year to get up to 500. I would be completely happy with that. And maybe we'll aim bigger, but let's try to do that first. So I really, really appreciate you all, and I have some really cool prizes coming up, guys. So remember, go to the Court of Owls Part 1, make a comment about your favorite Batman story, comic, animated, movie, whatever you want, and you will be entered in the Dark Knight Returns box set giveaway. And it comes with the 100 Greatest Batman Moments hardback book. And I have a couple of really, really big wall hangings that I'm probably going to be giving away once we hit milestone subscribers. So I really appreciate it, guys. Be safe in the new year. Peace. Oh, go buy SIRQ clothing. Sometimes I rage quit. He's got some of the best gear on the net.